agenda up there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Buzz podcast. And this week we have on our show we have Chris
Hello.
and we have James.
Hi.
And unfortunately, we're missing Baby Evan this week, but we should have him back next week. He can tell us about his expenditures with Pogs and yo-yos. And his college days that he's moving up on the moment. But first of all, I think we'll go through the usual, like what have people been enjoying and reading this week. How about yourself, Chris?
I've been kind of trying to catch up. The main ones are sticking out at the moment is I'm slogging through Convergence, which ends next week. Oh, thank God. Um,
Slogging. That's not a word that you use when you're enjoying something.
no, the second last issue was good enough, but overall it just felt nothing. It feels like there's nothing changing or happening that's in any way, shape, or form interesting or involving. It's weird because I'm reading that and I'm reading Secret Wars, and the first issue of Secret Wars is better than the entire 7 issues I've read of Convergence so far. That's only
Yeah,
one
they're
issue
very
in.
similar ideas, like.
They're very similar ideas. They're pretty much in issue 2 of Secret Wars. You have a patchwork world of different parts of the Marvel universe, or the what ifs of the Marvel universes and all that, and they're all in the same world that is ruled over by Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
and they're kind of fighting each other, but it's more Game of Thrones more than anything else. Um, it's actually somebody made that reference and I went, is it? And then I read it again and I went, yeah, actually, you've got the wall that's keeping out all the bad guys. You got people protecting it, and all these different factions are coming up, and it's very political. And on the other hand, you've got Convergence, where characters you kind of vaguely maybe know are punching each other, and that's kind of it. Like even the art's different. Like you've got Esad Ribic, who's just doing phenomenal art, and you've got I don't even know who's doing the art because it keeps changing every issue, and
Mm.
it just seems to be one of those jobbing artists. You just read it and it does its job, but it doesn't stick out.
Yeah.
Um, so it's very the same kind of idea, but very differently executed. What I've been reading are pretty much those. So I would say, if you're interested, go with Secret Wars. I mean, maybe not the most accessible, but the storytelling and the humor and the art is great. And Jonathan Hickman actually writes some very funny stuff compared to his Avengers run, which I found a bit difficult to get through. But that's kind of what I've been dipping into. And also Deadpool Secret Wars, where Deadpool has been written into the original 1984 Secret Wars story, which is very, very funny.
Kind of like that 11th issue of his original ongoing series where he's written into a Spider-Man story and everybody thought he was Spider-Man.
It's very like because I read Secret Wars about a year ago and it's still kind of weirdly fresh in my mind and you're reading it now and it's almost word for word except Deadpool just appears and starts commenting on stuff and
Yeah.
it's very funny. But yeah, that's what I've been reading anyway.
Yeah, no, I'd say that'd be good because that's the very same issue I was talking about. You was just slagging off the Osborns' Brillo head hair. Like, what's going on with their haircuts? Like, how does that hair even work? Anyway, but yeah, how about yourself, James? Anything you've been enjoying in any medium this week going
You
on?
mean this week?
Yeah,
Trees.
trees,
Yeah.
trees.
More analysis, kind of like weird, kind of like tree invasion, kind of like book. It's
Yeah,
almost kind of like Rendezvous with Rama, but like basically the kind of like these craft just land on the planet and seem to have some weird biological agenda.
yeah.
It's a strange one.
I was reading. I've only got up to like issue 5, but then to get a chance to catch up on the new issue. This to catch up enough for the new issue this month. But I will be carrying on that. Yeah, very interesting so far. I'm only up to 5 or 6, but it just seems like it had this weird effect on the political standpoint on everything, but otherwise the trees, these big alien pillars that drop themselves into the earth. Uh, have done nothing for 10 years, and now things are starting to happen.
Yeah, it's intriguing. It's like it feels like more like real sci-fi when you're reading it. It's not like masses of action. It's kind of like more like what happens if something does happen like this.
Mm.
Mm.
And then on the flip side, like you're having Mark Miller's Chrononauts,
Yeah, I read that issue as well.
which kind of like because I don't really care. I'm just gonna go mental and like mess around with
Yeah,
time and have a bit of a
ripples
laugh.
in time continue. What?
Yeah, the whole ripples in time thing does not seem to have even crossed Mark Miller's mind. It's just like, yep, I'm gonna I'm gonna have like an affair with Marilyn Monroe, and then I'm gonna be the new Hitler, and then I'm gonna be like some Babylonian kind of despot. And I don't really care what's gonna happen.
Like,
It's like,
what was it? Was the one of the characters went back to the 80s and invented Game of Thrones? Oh no, it wasn't Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad.
yeah,
It's
and
like just a throwaway reference to the fact that you invented Breaking the Bad in the 80s when Morrissey was a young singer. Like,
yeah, he's like kicking Morrissey out of the Smith, saying like, "Oh, you and the guitarist Johnny Marr wouldn't do anything good anyway." And that's like, come on.
yeah.
I don't know if it's just some mad, I don't know, ego massage from Mark Miller sometimes. He just kind of goes, yeah.
It's not. I find the fact that he has another writer on there. It's a female writer. I've lost her name. Sorry if that's awfully sexist and feminism goes mad at me on the
Is it a
internet.
co? It's a
Oh,
co-write?
it's a co-written. Yeah, she seemed to be. Even though it's kind of
It's
really
billed. It's
not
billed completely
not as
Miller
dark.
and Murphy.
Well, sorry.
Like on the front of the comic, like it's just going Miller and Murphy, like the artist. It's like there's
Yeah,
nobody else mentioned.
I'm sure there was a co-writer, but they're either way,
Well,
it seems to be a bit softer. It's just fun. It's not. There's no real dark edges to it so far because
Yeah.
his
you
stuff can get pretty dark.
Chrononauts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I actually lost you for a couple of seconds there, Stephen. So I didn't actually hear what you said in relation to that.
I was just saying it's not as dark as some of his other works. It's certainly not a Nemesis or a Kick-Ass 2 where everything goes really sadistically dark
No, it's
so far.
very light and silly.
Mm,
Yeah, it's more of a romp.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
romtastic.
like and then Sean Murphy's artwork is splendid.
Yeah.
Mm.
But his stuff on the Wake was insanely good. I loved that kind of atmospheric kind of stuff that he was doing in that.
Yeah.
Like his some of his panels they're in the style of an epic movie. Like he could draw a Mad Max Fury Road probably with all the cars going through the desert and looking epic. Like
Mm.
from some of the panels that he was doing here with the chase and everything in that episode in that issue.
Hmm.
You can well do close up personal stuff and like the big splash pages full of action or backgrounds and beautiful stuff.
So it's essentially those two I've been reading.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
As
Cool.
for myself,
Yes,
there.
Stephen, what were you reading?
Well, oh dear. Well, witches. Much enjoying the end of that current run. Like it will take a break until August or so.
Okay.
August maybe September. No, Snyder knows how to end a chapter, and as we've seen with his Batman work, he can do definitive things. And yeah, they're gonna bring Batman back. They will eventually, or Bruce Wayne more accurately. But in this kind of stuff, he can he can do definite endings to a chapter and bring it back with a new status quo when it
Mm.
comes. Um,
I
definitely,
had problems with his ending to the Wake, though. I really thought he didn't stick the landing on that one.
mm, well, that's one I haven't checked out myself. So,
So be
but
quiet, James. Don't talk about the end of the Wake then.
okay. Did anybody wake up?
It was all a dream.
Oh, right. Well, the wake was the last chapter in Sandman as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no connection, I would imagine. But the way it's done, like you really fear for the characters and how how well how disturbing the images are made with the grimy artwork and the texture effects. Like in your head, you're not quite sure what's going on, so it's fooling your eyes into being as scared as if it was a live motion thing where you're not sure when
Yeah.
something's going to come out at you. And they really you really get to know you really get to know Charlie and Sailor at least so much so that you want them to succeed in the end, and you know that's the kind of high stakes you need in horror. You need to actually care about the people that you want to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um,
All about character, really.
yeah.
yeah, and there something that was starting was Oh Kill Strike, which I thought was a lot of fun. Uh, it's basically if a lad having a crisis with being a new father, and he goes and tries to find a comic that's gone up in price because it was so bad it's rare during the '90s run of like extreme heroes, you know,
Excellent.
called Kill Strike, yeah, and Kill
Sounds
Strike
like
comes to life.
a Rob Liefeld comic, all right.
Yeah, no, that's the name of Rob Liefeld comic. Like, Killstrike comes to life, and the only thing Killstrike can think of, I must need to do vengeance. So, what can I do for you? So they go on a road trip to try to figure out what Killstrike needs to do in order to get home into the world of the comic. And of course, he's like 3 times as big as any human should be at the table and everything, like and he's just waving around his Bowie knives and everything. It's like I was like, and talking about his wife as if because she doesn't have the figure of a Liefeld character, like where she's really tall looking and massive boobs. Well, who is this woman? She's very. Oh, I've never seen a willowy figure such as this. Uh, Oh no, yeah, that should be very good. And other than that, like Howard the Duck has been very good. This once again we had a Spider-Man moment where he cries over losing someone. That's going to be a recurring joke. In Howard the Duck, I think. Just whenever Spider-Man's in it, he loses someone for a second and thinks it's Uncle Ben all over again. Uh, but yeah, no, that's my stuff for this week. Uh, I'm sure Chris was enjoying Witches as well. If you read it yourself.
I've read up until the last issue. Thanks for sharing it, but I haven't gotten around to reading it yet. It is on my list, and I've got a big pile of comics. I always have a big pile of comics, but I plan to finish them when I go away on my holidays. I'm going to bring a lot to read and just sit down and go, right, let's get through this. But I love Witches. I think Witches is fantastic,
Mm,
and it's actually one of the few. I never imagined a comic to be kind of unnerving and scary before,
mm,
but it manages to do it. Like that first issue, I think the first time I read it, I went, that was even the sound effects that they used for the witches, the chick
yeah,
chick chick thing. I could just I could just hear it, and it's been such a great arc so far. I am looking forward to the last issue, but I kind of really want to put it off as well because I know I won't be able to read any more of it until August. You know.
yeah.
But
Or
no,
it
I'm
is
definitely looking
August. I
forward
think
to it. Definitely looking forward to
like he's saying fall, which is like the weird American way of saying autumn. Uh,
Did you
it.
ever read his Severed?
no, no.
That's an unsettling
Honestly,
read.
No.
to be honest, I haven't read much of
Yeah,
his stuff.
Yeah,
Man.
his Severed is good. Seven.
I've read. Okay, Severed. I've read mostly his Vampire of the Catch Up on. I've read The Wake, and without saying much about The Wake, I like the first half of it compared to the second half.
Mm,
Would you
Um,
agree that he didn't quite stick the end of it?
I would. I thought it was grand, but it changed tack for me, and I never got involved as much as I did in the first part of the story. And
Yeah.
and I'll leave it at that. Which is very strange. Which is very, because I wasn't expecting that compared to what I've read else belonging to him. It's still good. It's still like definitely read it, Stephen. Definitely read it.
mm,
But it's just surprising what road he took, and yeah, yeah. Yeah, but Severed, I'll give Severed a go. I like his writing, so I wouldn't mind giving another thing there that he has going.
I think you might like it.
Okay, cool. I'll put a note in
Well,
that.
one more recommendation: Severed, and anybody that hasn't read The Wake, you might be slightly disappointed in the ending if you're like James, but definitely well worth the read either way.
Oh yeah, it is
Um,
worth your time.
yeah, so we'll go on
Yeah.
to the little bit of comic news that we have here. Uh, First of all, like probably the big weird news for this week is DC are trying to stop Rihanna from trademarking her proper first name Robin with a Y because it's too
What?
near. Yes. Uh, I see you haven't read this story yet.
Sorry. Well, it's I've only like I read it in the agenda and I kind of went what what
Well,
what?
basically, she wants to use her proper first name to be used for
Merchandising and things like that.
merchandising, and the DC think it's a bit too much like Robin, as in Batman and Robin.
Now,
Now,
in terms of copyright and things like that,
I wasn't expecting that to be the first Chris laugh.
yeah,
Oh my God, that's oh dear Lord. I'm sorry, I have to lie down after that. That's just stupid as hell.
Okay, James, we keep on talking
You
while
keep
Chris
talking,
gets
I'm
his
just gonna put
thoughts.
a wet towel over my face for
this
a
could
while.
be more preemptive. And it's like if she does get the kind of copyright trademark on Robin,
Mm-hmm.
she'd
Yeah,
actually in turn sue them.
yeah,
So they just want to say no.
but it is spelled differently, and
It's
it's not
very clearly
originally
too
associated
different.
with. Can you say it?
Yeah, but look what happened. Like why Alan Moore hates Marvel. Like they took out a comics publisher that had Marvel Man and sued them. Like even though Marvel Man and the comic company that was doing it in Britain predated Marvel as a company, full stop.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's just this weird. It's like it's lawyers. This is all lawyer stuff happening here now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it says here, there were similar situations last year, such as Disney moving to stop Dead
Dead
Mouth
Mouse, yeah,
from
trademarking his
trademarking
imagery,
his head logo because it looks a bit
like the Mickey Mouse logo, and that
yeah,
is kind of true.
yeah. And apparently the the Spanish soccer team's bat logo was a little bit too much like was a bit too much like Batman's logo, so they wanted to stop that as well. Uh, yeah, though I would love to see Batman as the mascot for a Spanish football team. Go! I think that'd be brilliant. Anyway, yeah, that's mental. And on lawyer news, we have an explanation of why Foggy Nelson is called Foggy Nelson. Uh,
I didn't read this, but if you want to tell me, go ahead.
well, basically, I'm sure it's been retconned because I'm sure there's evidence that his nickname was Foggy Nelson before he met Matt, but Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Uh, Apparently, Matt named him Foggy because he had really bad snoring issues, and to him it sounded even worse. And he said he's like a human foghorn.
Mm.
So when he had to share a room with him in college, he nicknamed it this, cause he's a bit. This doesn't show well for Matt Murdock, to be honest. It makes him a little bit of a dick. If you ask me, like I'll name someone after their snoring for forevermore, even after I stopped sharing a room with them. It's like,
Just a nickname stick though, you know, and you end up getting used to it, and then the explanation's almost lost because you forget about it because you called him that for so long. Um, Probably is. Matt Murdock isn't 100% a good guy. He has
yeah,
aspects to him that are dislikable, but I think it's probably slightly endearing yet weirdly buddyish nickname at the same time.
yeah, I get that. Well, what if we started calling you Foggy there, James? What would you think? Over your snoring, which I assume you do.
Yeah,
Get out of my room.
I'm guilty of charge. Is charged.
I'm sure I do as well, but I don't think you're telling me. Uh,
Not regularly, but I have been known if I've had a few beers, I will be kind of loud.
yeah, I would imagine, especially when I was bigger, because when you're got a lot of weight on you, like especially as soon as you roll on your back, like it's like you're cutting off your airways big time. So I would imagine that I do slightly snore, if not a lot better than I did used to. Um, okay, well that was a bit of a light bit of news. Now for some promotional stuff from DC. Uh, we've got their DCU June relaunch. So after they're finished with Convergence and they've converged, they're gonna have a load of ads out about their change ups for 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 Superman and etc. So if you have the pictures there, lads, if you want to pull them up, just to get an idea, you can pull up the launcher. And
I don't know why the app I use to open up the agenda crashed, so I'm just trying to download the agenda again. But I did with the free comic book date that did give a preview of Batman, what's happening in Superman, and also a little bit of Justice League as well. Um,
well,
so it,
Well, I'll describe for anybody listening which each one is. And James, if you have it there, you might be able to give a better explanation than I'm doing. Basically, they're all white pages with the red stripe across it with DCU, as in DCYOU instead of DCU. Uh,
mhm.
that's not Dublin State University. Uh, the first one of Superman, it's got in the text, has got the glasses are off for good. Are you ready? And in the background, it's got a picture of him with his shirt burned off, showing his Superman shirt underneath, and the basically the glasses half melted off him. Uh, so yeah, definitely trying to be a great. Apparently he's powerless, and everybody knows he's Clark Kent as well. So
That would lean
some
into
upcoming
the recent
issues.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. It's a nice enough poster, but it's mostly for promotional. Most of these you will be waiting on
Mm.
uh on the stories themselves. Any thoughts on that, James? You can see it.
I know, I'm just too cynical for this kind of stuff now.
Okay, just meh. We'll just go like every time we go to you, just go meh.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
like,
Ugh.
come
It's
on.
it's like Transformers all over again. Uh,
Don't
the,
get
the
me
new
started.
Batman one, which we've got like the Batbot back, as we've seen in many of the promos. Like we've just got the back piece of the robotic suit
Mm.
Batman. Um, Commissioner Gordon is the new Dark Knight. Are you ready? And we see you in a stripe of color across again. Um, you've seen this image. It's just against a black. Pretty much like it depends on your opinion of what would be good about having Commissioner Gordon as a kind of corporately sponsored Batman. Uh, it's going to be an interesting thing. It's not like they're never going to go back to Bruce Wayne. Certainly by the time Batman versus Superman comes out, like for
Mm.
corporate synergy, DC know what they're doing. But yeah, no. How about that, James?
I'm still sold on that damn suit.
No, no, you're not going mad. No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ah, okay. This is an odd one for Batman Beyond, because I hear this is actually Tim Drake
Yeah.
in the Batman Beyond suit. A Robin from
The
the past becomes the Dark Knight of the future. Are you ready? And it's basically like a very skinny looking Batman Beyond. He looks not unfit, but like just kind of like Bernard Chang's art seems very svelte, for lack of a better word. But
there's there's a preview of it. I read the preview online.
sorry, Chris. I think we might have lost you there.
Think we might have lost him.
Completely? Hopefully not. Chris?
For
Change the batteries. Change those batteries.
Daisy, Daisy.
It is, isn't it?
What?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I can't let you do that, Chris. I can't let you
Kind
do
of
that.
intrigued.
No,
Alright.
you're blowing out a lot there, buddy.
Hello?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
you're back.
so you pretty
What
much went
happened
to sleep
there?
for after when you were talking about reading the preview about Batman Beyond. So just
Oh,
waiting
okay.
for it again.
Yeah. Reading it, I don't know. I was kind of interested in picking up issue one, and then I read the preview, and I kind of went, I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
I liked Tim Drake as a character, but putting him in that situation, it just feels that it's just done for the sake of it more than nothing else. You know, what will we do with Tim Drake? Not sure. Or let's put him into the future. Grant, okay, he's dealt with for a while. You know, yeah,
I think he's got the shorthand since the New 52, to be honest.
that's
Like,
the thing.
they diminished his role in the whole story, like, by compressing it. And didn't even give him the proper Robin title. Like, apparently he's always been Red Robin.
Hmm.
And he's a better character than that to diminish what was done before. You know?
Yeah,
So
I just don't know if this is
all
the
the Robins.
proper way of doing it. You know.
Yeah. But the whole compressed Batman thing seems a bit odd. You know, having like four or five Robins in the matter of 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on for that one. Any ideas on that for before we do, Chris? Sorry, James.
Uh,
Okay. Oh, this is a nice one. I actually like this. It's funny. Uh, this is the Bizarro comic. This am the worst comic book ever. Are you unready? And it has uh, Bizarro flying out with half of his head off screen. And I like Bizarro when it's played for laughs. Hopefully that'll be a fun book. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
We were talking about the Bizarro book, the new
Oh, I
Bizarro
don't
book.
know anything about that really. I had a quick flip through them and I kind of went, no, 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 no.
Okay,
Most
kind
of them
of
for
side.
me,
Sorry, you're kind of choppy there, Chris.
I don't know anything about it. Could be fun. Huh?
Could be fun, you're saying.
It could be.
Yeah.
Like I had a quick look through them preview wise, and it looks cartoony. It could be silly, but how? I mean, how much humor can you get out of it when it says this on worst book ever? Are you unready? I mean, how is that joke going to get old very fast, or is it going to be more to it than that? You know, or is it
Hopefully,
going to be a
like
limited
it's not just
series?
going to be the backward speaking thing, because that's
Yeah,
pretty old hat with Bizarro.
I know, but it's one of them though. You know, so what else have they offer? Like it looks cool just from that, and
Mm.
I'd be more willing to pick up this first issue than the Batman.
The Batman Beyond one, yeah.
But will they go for that? Is this going to be a limited series or an ongoing until they find out if it's going to be popular enough?
I'd say it's an ongoing. I'd say all these ones they're announcing are ongoing.
Hmm.
I'm not sure the Bizarro one could go on.
Mm,
Like
uh,
that would be a tricky one to kind of like keep momentum going with.
true, true, true. Um, now next one we got a Cyborg. It's probably about time he got his own book. He's an interesting enough character, especially being like a man that didn't really pick to be in the Justice League or be like there could be it could be like they're trying a bit more diversity, getting a bit more diversity in there. And once they have a good book on top of it, fair play to them. Like it's robots are a minority too, Uh, but uh, but till I see this, it looks like a good image. Man versus machine. Are you ready?
Hmm.
Well, I don't. That doesn't say much to me other than it's Cyborg. Uh, uh, what do you think, Chris? Would you read a Cyborg book?
I've never been interested in Cyborg, to be honest. That
Yeah.
stood out for me. He was just his whole man machine thing. I don't know. It can be, but it's just not something that would grab my read. It looks like it could be dramatic. Am I really human? Am I really a machine? Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would be interested in. The image looks nice, but Cyborg was never something that I was ever drawn to as a character.
Hmm. I think he might work better against the characters as well. So his own solo book. Hmm. Yeah, that's a way
Yeah.
I can see. How about you? How about you, James?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll make that into a robot later on. Uh, Deathstroke. Deathstroke has got an image here where he's got one of his swords held to his back and he's kind of doing a running position. His next contract to kill a god. Are you ready? It really depends on how he's written. Like, he's a very good character when he's written well.
Mm.
And the idea of him going after gods or new gods or something like that would be interesting. It's always interesting when you see Batman fight above his weight scale.
Yeah.
So Deathstroke's really kind of like the villain version of Batman,
Mm.
if anything. Um, what do you think there, Chris?
I haven't read. I'm aware of Deathstroke through his various comic appearances, and obviously on Arrow. Um, I don't know. The last thing I read out of him was his first issue one of his series at the moment. If that's ended or not, I don't know. And it was okay. Um, I'm not sure. Maybe. Like Tony S. Daniel, is he going to be writing it or drawing it? Because if he's drawing it, cool. Because I like his art style, but
Hmm.
I don't have much of an opinion, to be honest, on this. Looking at this alone, it wouldn't be enough to draw me in.
Okay, we'll go to the most wordy opinion that we're about to get here, James. Well put. Okay, we will just quickly go through these next ones because they're fairly new and ones we might be too familiar with. Will they be tomorrow's heroes or villains? Are you ready? We've got like the art. It's actually really nice anime style art
Mm.
for Gotham Academy. Now this is one that I've been told is very good, even though it seems like an odd idea that they're going to a school in Gotham and will they end up being through their connections, will they end up being good or bad? And I believe now that Damian Wayne is a member of Gotham Academy as well. So that's an interesting connection to the rest of the Batverse. Um, have you read any of this, Chris?
I've read Gotham Academy.
Yeah.
I've caught up on it. It's really good. It's teen drama. It's very much kind of weirdly Harry Potter esque in all the kind of the Gothic Academy and all the hidden secrets and all the different teachers and all the things that are there. Is there a ghost in there's a reportedly a ghost in the academy that they're trying to search, and there's little mysteries there, and it's good. And as you pointed out with the art, you feel like you're looking at art that's almost animation cells from a cartoon that hasn't been made yet.
Yeah.
And the colors, it just looks like they could move at any moment. It's quite cool, and there's a bit with Killer Croc in it that looks like he's from the animated series, and you kind of go, "Ooh, that looks deadly." So it is really it's ooh, um, um, so I this is something I've actually on my pull list, so I will be reading it when it comes back because it is good fun. It is very different compared to everything else in the Bat series is out there, and it'd be interesting to see Damien's inter.
We'll see what Damo thinks of it. Yeah, Damo Wayne. How about yourself, James?
It actually does look nice.
Yeah.
I'm curious. It has my interest, so I might actually give it a shot.
See that? There you go. And certain vowels just bring out words in you, James.
I know.
Woo!
Woo!
But I think we got one for Midnighter.
Who
Uh,
the heck's he?
Midnighter.
Oh my gosh, you do not know who he is.
Yes.
He kind of came into being in Stormwatch, then like, yo, well, that was the Authority, wasn't it?
No, Stormwatch first, and
Yeah,
then the Authority. He was a proper part of the Authority. Uh, but he came in as a kind of mid-tier character. Him and his eventual husband
yeah.
Apollo. Uh,
Basically,
they
it's
made the right
a
move.
thinly veiled kind of like Batman and Superman are basically like a gay couple.
Yeah,
Right.
except they're more murderous and more violent.
Yes, it's kind of
Yes,
like with a lot of
Midnighter
attitude.
is the Batman homage.
Yeah,
And I don't
he's a
know
great
if in
character when
52 he's still married to Apollo. That mightn't have happened yet.
yeah. Well, he's
But
a good character when written well. Like Ellis had him some great stuff there.
yeah, like it was really really good. I've mostly only read the Authority version of him, but and I think he had a mini series there as well. His first mini series where he went back in time to Hitler's time or something like that.
That
Pretty
seems to
good.
be a thing that, like, did you not talk about like Transformers did something similar, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it's not an unknown trope of
That's why I went.
going back in time in science fiction.
It went a bit too tropish for my liking.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what they do with it. It's like every TV show is every now and again is going to have It's a Wonderful Life episode where, what if I didn't exist?
Yeah.
Some of them do well with it. Like, they bring their own thing to it. It's like, but we basically got he could predict your every move, but no one could predict what he'll do next. It sounds like a old '90s TV film trailer voice. He can predict your every move, but no one can predict what he'll do next.
The erratic clairvoyant.
was, was It's a man in a world he never made. We've got a new Starfire, which has Amanda and Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti in it. The team behind Harley Quinn. So they're not gonna. It's not gonna be like the overly sexed version that we had for Red Skull. Sorry, Red Mask and the Outsiders. Was it the Outsiders? The Outlaws. Red Mask and the Outlaws. Uh, that didn't remember half of the stuff about her life and so saw everything as a conquest kind of thing. That people, feminists and people that had any good sense about how to treat treat writing of women railed against. Uh, she's an alien warrior trying to find peace, and she will fight anybody or anything to get it. That's nice. Definitely a nice costume design. Still kind of sexy, but no, well, too much shit flying out. Like, what is it? Uh, most superhero costumes, even if they show skin, they're pretty tight, so you can't say much about it if it's, you know. But have you read?
No.
No, I know who she is. I mean,
Yeah, I just watched
it's
Teen Titans. That's all I know.
Yeah.
The
No,
animated version, which I loved.
no, they're probably quite different from the comic book version, especially that red mask and red mask. What's his name? Red Hood and the Outlaws. I keep on saying red mask. They're from Giant Robo. But you got the Robins is book, which seems odd. It's kind of like people, teenagers from all around the world are taking on the Robin persona in order to be some kind of militant army type thing. It's got we are not psychics, we are an army. And you
Seems to
can
be almost like a riff on the Dark Knight Returns, Sons of Batman kind of thing.
Yeah, whether it'll be like they're trying to Batman thing and it no particular or they become onto themselves is another question. But
Maybe.
or have you heard much about this, Chris?
About Robins.
Yeah, about We Are Robin. Yeah.
Not much. It's been kind of touted in some form or the other for quite some time.
Yeah.
I'd be that'd be one to be I'd be interested in having a look at, even just to see what exactly to do with it. You know.
Yeah, I think
It almost
might be
feels.
a surprise in the vein of Gotham Academy, where like people thought this is a bad idea, but it might actually turn out to be quite interesting.
I almost feel like it's, for some reason when I see that, it kind of reminds me of maybe the Dark Knight Returns, except it's not really about Batman. It's about all these people who've been inspired by Batman to get together. They'll just happen to be variations of Robin, or this kind of group that's kind of like that. That's what I'm weirdly expecting. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
maybe it's the images I've seen, but something along those lines, maybe.
Slightly propaganda-esque, you know. So
Hmm.
it's kind of a weird kind of youth movement that's deciding to help through Gotham, like for whether
Yeah.
they're well organized or not. That's what I'm getting from the images anyway. Uh, and that's all we have for those. Uh, so we'll move on from comics and we'll go straight into movies. We'll leave TV to the end because there's an awful lot of spoilery stuff there. As we've seen in the last few weeks, sticking on the Batman train, it looks like from the new images of Suicide Squad that Jared indeed got most of those tattoos, if not all of them. Those tattoos are a thing in the movie.
Yeah.
At least he's not going to be shirtless through it, because that would be a bit weird.
The biggest is that stupid damage tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah, we could deal with the rest, I suppose.
Yeah, I could
I even
make
kind of,
my, I don't know. It's just it's messing with my head.
I even kind of like the metal teeth.
Yeah,
It
like
works for me. It makes him kind of like a punk Joker, like a punk rock star Joker, especially with the silver suit and the purple shirt and stuff like that, and the suspenders. It's like I don't think he's wearing the suspenders. Actually, it's a gun holster. I thought it was suspenders.
oh, you mean like braces or something like that?
Yeah, no, I think it's a gun holster. He's
Yeah.
wearing those pictures. Um, yeah, no, I'm not sure of it. It's a bit too on the nose.
Yeah, it's like they're just trying too hard.
Yeah, like I think I was listening to a podcast, someone talking about the other week, uh, and I think it was Mark Bernard, and he's a writer, he's a writer that does podcasts with Kevin Smith about Batman, and he was saying, I just can't imagine the Joker that I know sitting still long enough for those tattoos.
Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I was like, but any thoughts on that, Chris?
Um, I'm still not sold on them. I still like all these images. You can kind of clearly see what his Joker's going to look like and maybe act in a way.
Yeah,
I'm still not sold on it. I still think there's something missing. He still looks too cosplay for me.
yeah.
Um,
I think we'd wait and I think it's more of a wait and kind of see. It
like,
depends on how he acts it. You might sell us on the rest.
that's the thing, and I hope I'm wrong, because I know, like, even though I'm not too pushed by anything I've seen from Batman versus Superman or anything like that, I'll still go see those movies, and I'll still hope they're good, and I hope he's great in it. I hope he's fantastic in it. But
I
the
think he
images,
sell us past the tattoos, but I'll have to wait and see if he does.
yeah,
Yeah.
it,
It's like it's not getting you on board. Like it's gonna have a lot more to do to kind of get you.
put me in. It's not. I mean, there's time. You know, when you get all these movie clips and you go, "Oh my god!" and you're really excited for it. And this time round, with all the images of Batman and Superman, you just, for some reason, the excitement's not there. It's not like can't wait for this, can't wait for this. It's like, oh, okay.
They might be starting too early.
And maybe that's why they're churning out so many images to try and hype it up, because they're not getting as much
Traction.
interaction as maybe they want. Yeah. And they're throwing a lot of stuff out there, a lot of stuff. It just hasn't pulled me in yet. It hasn't got me excited in any way, shape, or form for the film. Not to say that it looks boring, but it just isn't my idea of what the Joker will look like, and end up look liking something weirdly Sucker Punch-ish or something along those lines, even though it's not by Zack Snyder. It's gonna have that weird feel to it,
Yeah. I think the director is a good director, so hopefully he'll be reining in he'll be reining in good performances to back up the style,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on now. As a possible rumor, Matthew McConaughey may be the new Green Goblin. Apparently, there's rumors they're on the look for the Mac to become the new Norman Osborn in the upcoming Spider-Man Marvel film.
It's good. That would be a strange. I can't quite see him.
Yeah.
That like southern drawl thing that he'll be doing, and he's just a bit too mad.
One thing I just want to, if they ever do that storyline where he actually has an affair with Gwen, like, because Gwen would be teenage at this stage, is it going to be like him being a kind of dazed and confused version of his character? Like, is it going to be high school girls? I grow older, they still see me, kind of a thing. But no, he's definitely a good actor. Not who I'd see now, but I think there's a good chance Norman Osborn might, Martin Freeman might be more Norman Osborn in Civil War. It's up there with the possible choices that he's going to be playing.
I remember when they had the whole Dark Reign going, when Norman Osborn was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., or Hammer as it was called, and they kept drawing him, and he really looked like Tommy Lee Jones, and that's why I weirdly imagine him to be this slightly older man,
Comic.
Huh?
There's every now and again there's a Mark Millar comic with a character that looks like Tommy Lee Jones. Happening Wanted, and it's happening in Chrononauts. The head guy that's after the two main characters. He's drawn exactly like Tommy Lee Jones. It seems to be like it's like Mark Millar hands out Tommy Lee Jones type to his artists. But
probably has a macro.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
But we've got there's been a director tapped the director for Fault in Our Stars has been tapped to help the spin-off of New Mutants. The New Mutants. That's going to be an awful lot of spin-offs of X-Men in the next 5 years or so.
There's so many characters in the X universe, though. They could spin that out for years.
Yeah, like I think we've got Gambit coming. We've got the final Wolverine with Hugh Jackman apparently.
Deadpool's coming out.
Sorry.
Deadpool,
possibly an X-Force, and then we've got like the X-Men Apocalypse as well. So there's an awful lot of X movies coming out. Not former movies, X-Men movies. Just to be clear. What would you think of having a New Mutants movie? Was anybody too familiar with the older comics or even the newer ones? Because they came back as a team for a while there as well.
I wouldn't know much about them. Like I know of them, but for me anyway, it's like okay, grand. It's not sticking out for me. It's like I suppose it just kind of feels like it's just going to be another movie, unless they really market it, because they're not a known brand compared to the X-Men,
No. They're gonna
It would
really have
need
to
to be
push the
really, really
X-Men.
good.
It's really gonna have to be pushed. This is part of the X-Men mythos with it, like, possibly
I
have
think so.
Patrick Stewart in it, because an awful lot of the New Mutant stuff had Professor X in it as regular, even more than he was in the X-Men. He was with them
Yeah.
all the time during their early adventures, like
Ah.
effectively going on missions with them. You know, I think they'd probably have to have a major character being their mentor in the movie.
Mm, yeah.
Um, Possibly Magneto. He was the leader of the New Mutants at a time when he was gone to the side of the Angels for a bit. So
Yeah.
that they have an awful lot of explaining to do with that one. Uh, but, yeah, we'll move on for that one. Not nothing to say on that, James. Before I leave you there.
No, I've almost forgotten what New Mutants comics I read years ago. It's like it
Yeah,
wasn't that memorable, to be honest.
yeah. I think I think it was good. Like, it lasted like 100 issues. It must have been enjoyable enough. Uh,
Just remember, like it was like that was the first issue with one of the issues that was bringing Cable.
I think it was 98. Or it was in the 90s anyway,
Yeah,
that brought in Cable, and then he spinned off. Most of the team went on to be X Force.
yeah. It's just like yeah, it could be good. Like they it depends on the script. If they, I don't think there's actually any storylines within the comics that they could
Yeah.
take on and make a great movie, but they can use the characters and make something good.
Yeah, possibly. And just before we move off from any even mildly, this is a mildly comic book bit of news. Uh, Kirk, Kirkman, Robert Kirkman, that the writer of Walking Dead, is apparently working as part of the writing team for the Transformers spin-off movies. Um, which, to be honest, I think they should just concentrate on getting the main movies better. But apparently, it's making enough money. They want to spin off this shiz. You know, so they pulled in close to $4 billion worldwide, despite the critical lashing.
Mm,
Yeah,
Um, so it's not like it's not making money. But I think they really do need to concentrate on making the characters more important in the movies they're already doing. And there's apparently going to be two
yeah.
more, at least, of the main Transformer movies.
there's no cohesion in the Michael Bay films in terms of characters are just there. There's
Yeah.
no, it makes no sense.
And as far as the Transformer characters, bar the few of them like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, uh, Megatron, Starscream, a little bit.
Yeah,
There's really no real characters in them.
no, they're just
So,
like the in the last one with that kind of samurai Autobot. You're kind of going, where did this guy come from? Like, what's it
yeah,
doing here?
yeah. Pretty much
Why, why
all the
can't I understand this kids movie?
all the Autobots, but Bumblebee and uh, and Optimus Prime weren't in the previous movies. And the ones that weren't got killed off pretty early in the were got killed off pretty early in the proceedings. Uh, so that's good. Uh,
Yeah,
but I think Robert Kirkman and possibly Zach Penn and some of these other people that are involved, like it's not that uh, Aaron Kruger, which is probably the main writer on all the other ones, most people say is the
Mm,
worst writer, the part of some of the bad decisions
yeah,
uh, in in the previous installments. He's not going to easy. I've been absent from these group of writers, of the spin-off writers anyway. So
yeah.
that might or might not be a good thing. Like it's a rich amount of characters. Whatever you think about them, they're like there's so many characters. You can a good writer can make anything out of that universe. Um,
Well, they have a massive kind of like playpen to work off, a
yeah,
sandbox.
yeah, and like from various different versions as well, and you're gonna have a hodgepodge of everything. So yeah, that's about it on that one. And we had the Pixel trailers coming out. As we can see, is fortunately we've got I've forgotten his name now.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, yes. Sorry, his movies are so memorable these days.
No, I think you just try and forget the trauma. Like, you try and forget bad things that happen in your life.
Yeah.
And sitting through his later movies is going to be a bad thing.
Definitely, I enjoyed some of the when he was just full on goofy, like at the start with Billy Madison and
Like the Wedding Singer, the Water Boy. They were like
Waterboy and definitely him Happy Gilmore. Uh, but we've got like this movie about aliens using video game characters and technology to basically attacking us with our video game characters.
yeah.
And it looks interesting. Like Dinklage is in there, Josh Gad, who I enjoy. He's just kind of alright. And
It's like you just got to push that guy as an actor. It's like, yeah, we're going to start putting him in stuff.
yeah,
We're going to force people to actually think he's somebody.
yeah, and it was weird for a while. They were pushing him to be the Thing in the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
People didn't like that idea. I was like what do you think about Jamie Bell? He's better than that idea. A comedy overweight Ben Grimm. Uh, but yeah, no. Has anybody seen the trailers yet?
Yeah, I did. Technically, it looks good. I'm not sure about whether it'll actually be any good.
And Peter Dinklage seems to be having fun, but
I was
yeah.
I was interested in it up until it was like, oh, oh, right. The idea itself,
Al Pacino one is there. Oh,
it's all about the vowels with me. You see, I express my pleasure or unhappiness through vowels alone.
all right.
I like it. I when I heard of that, I thought this could actually be silly and really good fun. But then could it be one of those vehicles where Adam Sandler's in the front trying to be funny, and you see, and
We got
all
Kevin
of these
James
things
there.
that are around about could be just throwaways, you know?
Yeah, I'd say it's going to be mostly a two-hander between him and Kevin James, and all the characters revolve around them too.
Oh, good.
Is Kevin James in this as well?
Yeah,
Oh God, that's the down. I'm definitely not saying it.
I don't
No
mind
way.
Kevin James. Sometimes he's good, but with Sandler, it's generally.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
But we'll move on for a bit, lads. If you don't mind, I'll just go and get a drink. I'm enjoying Troy here. So hold on for a second. I'll be right back. Talk amongst
All right.
yourselves.
Yeah, I think Pixels just seems like there's a
I might
potential to,
watch it if I'm on the plane.
if you're on a plane.
Yeah.
Only if I'm 30,000 feet in the air will I watch this movie.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, my tablet has died. My phone I can't switch on. It's like, crap. I better watch this.
it's like it could be like if it played on the nostalgia of those games, it could be good fun. But I think it's just going to be a thing to build around Kevin James's and Adam Sandler's shtick, really.
Yeah.
Like I could be wrong, and I'd like to be, but looking at the trailers for it, it just feels like that's what it's going to be. So interesting enough, Dundrum Town Centre put on they did they had a Pac-Man that was painted onto their kind of like display area today. Apparently, it's Pac-Man's was it anniversary this year or something.
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, so they had a kind of a Pac-Man stand in Dundrum, which kind of looked cool. But
Miss Pac-Man is anniversary now.
Don't know. I don't know. I thought it was Pac-Man's, but that's I only read that on the article itself. But it kind of looked cool. It just had some sort of Pac-Man display in Dundrum.
Oh, that's much better. I was already kind of sore in the throat there earlier on, so all this talking, you had to put up with me. Anyway, I'll start again. Um, and next we'll move on to Mad Max Fury Road. Unfortunately, I haven't seen yet, so I'll leave it up to you two to sell me on it. Hopefully, I'll be able to see it during the week.
All right, do you want to go first?
I saw. Well, I won't say too much about it. Only that I saw it during the week. I saw it Monday. Um, I'd only a passing interest in it, to be honest with you. I kind of went, I'll go see in the movies. I'm not too pushed. And then I watched it, and it was one of the most insane movies that were. It was pretty much a 2 hour chase scene. Um, but it was really well done. It was action packed, and it was really kind of exhausting to watch because so much was happening. But it didn't feel like it was just thrown at you. It was just so well done. Everything about it was so interesting and visually, just like wow. And then Charlize Theron, for me anyway, felt like the standout character of that movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's Mad Max and Tom Hardy's good in it, but he played second fiddle to her character, and whether intentionally or otherwise. But a very good action film that it really, compared to what's out at the moment, it really does stand out, even on visuals alone. But no, definitely go see it. You will enjoy it for the sheer madness of it all.
No, I've been told as much.
Yeah, I agree
Oh,
totally with what everything's been said. I think in the whole terms of like it being a Mad Max movie, I think they're trying to make him more of a kind of like a mythical character,
Mm,
where he's kind of like
mm,
he gets involved, he does his thing, and then he just fades away. But the main
yeah,
narrative thrust is about Charlize Theron's character, really,
yeah.
about her trying to like do
yeah,
something, do something good after being involved with so much awful things. And this is like sketched in. There's no real laborious like 10-minute like monologues about what they've done, and even the world building is so just sketched in, but it's just enough to give you a taste and a sense of
yeah,
the place. Like it's pure visual storytelling. Like it's so efficient in how it tells the story and how it does it in a visual way, and it's all being done
mm,
while they're being chased.
No, cool. Well,
yeah.
once I've seen it next week, I'm sure Evan probably see it as well. We'll have a chat about what everybody's full spoilery event was like. But I'm definitely looking forward to that now. So we'll move on. We'll move on to some games. Which, to be honest, I think you're gonna have to mostly take these. I believe you put most of them here anyway. First of all, we'll go off the one that we might. There's a new live action trailer for Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
Uh, there, there, it seems to be suggesting that we should all go out and fight crime and stand up for people and stand up for ourselves.
yeah. Be the
Uh,
Batman.
be the Batman.
Yeah.
It's a nice trailer, but I wouldn't suggest it.
It felt
Uh,
actually dated in a way with like the Nine Inch Nails track, and I felt like I was just watching something like '90s emo rock kind of like thing.
mm,
Like, and I love Nine Inch Nails, but just that whole like thing, it was like Trent Reznor stuff was always being used for this kind of stuff a long time ago, and
yeah.
he's moved on from what this kind of these types of visuals.
There's no banjo in this at all.
Hmm?
There's no banjo in this at all.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. I can't wait.
Mm.
Yeah, no, as someone that doesn't play, it's the kind of game looking at it just like, oh, if I had the money, I'd get a next gen console straight away.
Have you played the
But
previous ones?
What will you be playing it on, when it comes out? What will you be playing it on, James?
Because it's cross-platform, it like theoretically it should have the edge with the PlayStation 4. So I'll go for purely on that. It'll have a higher
Okay.
better frame rate technically. But if I start reading that the Xbox
Yeah.
One somehow has an edge, I'll go for it on that. I'm platform agnostic. I go whatever I
Just
get the best experience with.
I don't know if agnostic is the right word.
fair enough. That's fair enough.
Uh,
I'm
it's like
half.
that
I'm
you're
just for the
open
game.
to believing in something, but you're open to believing and it also doesn't exist. So I'm assuming you believe all your consoles exist.
Yeah, but I mean, just whatever, which one is going to be the best. Like, it seems to be people buy a console and then suddenly they have to get zealous, going, this is the best one. The other one sucks. Because I spent €400 on it. So it has to be this way.
Yeah, it's always the way.
Yeah.
Whichever one that they've spent their money on.
Yeah, so I kind of get the whatever. I get the both because I just want to play the games.
Yep.
So I want to play Halo. I want to play Uncharted. That means I'm going to get both consoles.
Yeah. And what about these other ones you popped down for us, James? You could tell us a bit about these.
Well, like Casey Hudson, like he's working on a Microsoft HoloLens game,
Yeah.
and HoloLens is kind of like Microsoft's kind of like take on the whole VR. Except they've done it in a bit more of an interesting way.
Yeah.
They're kind of like they're almost using it as like augmented reality.
Ah.
So when you're looking through the lens, like you're looking at like you're still looking at the real world, but like they can have like almost like they can like Iron Man kind of like 3D displays in front of you, and then like you could be playing a game, but you'll still be able to like interact in the room. It's kind of doing an overlay of the room as well.
So this will be the most interactive, immersive version of X's and O's that you'll ever play.
Yep, like Minecraft, they showed a demo of playing Minecraft on it, and it looked totally insane. Like you're breaking down a wall of your room in Minecraft style, and it looked great.
Janie.
So he's working on the game, and this guy was kind of like pretty much the lead, design lead for BioWare's Mass Effect games. So he's no slouch. And he was with BioWare for a long time, like 15 years. So he's got experience, and now he's working with Microsoft Game Studios on that type thing, and maybe working on other games for the studio as well. So that's interesting to me because I think it shows that they're seriously trying to tackle the whole VR thing, but in their way, and not just like it's not something to be me too. It's like we like what we're doing, but we'd like to actually do something a bit more different.
Yeah. And you wonder if it'll catch traction this time, because there was a time like in the late 90s, early 2000s when we thought VR was going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot more money, and I think the tech can actually back up the kind of ambition that it had back in the 90s.
Yeah. What about Witcher 3? I hear from what you saying in here that it's getting a lot of raves and reviews.
Apparently, it's like a role-playing game. Massive worlds, incredibly detailed. Like you can do your walking around, talk to villagers, kind of find out what's going on, and kind of get yourself involved. Apparently, like you can spend 20 hours just doing that.
Doing that now. Less dangerous than walking around fingers doing that.
I don't know. I haven't fought any kind of like massive griffin creatures in Finglas. All I did was my driving test in Finglas.
Okay, well everybody's done their driving test in Finglas.
I passed, and I'm happy about it.
Testing center here. But yeah, no, but from have you played much of it yet, or is it getting early previews?
It's on my kind of like this is all like from friends playing it and then looking at the kind of gaming press. I'm still kind of like I only played The Witcher 2 when it was free on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And that's a big game. And then this one apparently is just because it's gone next gen. It's kind of like, or current gen now. It's been out next gen's been 2 years old at this stage, and they're saying this is kind of like this is what they were trying to do originally. Like the Polish game studio CD Project Red, like they seem to be just like fans making games that they'd want to play.
Yeah.
And they can like even their DLC is free afterwards. They seem to actually be like, you bought the game and here's our way of saying thanks.
Yeah. Bless you.
Yeah, it's like it's a massively like apparently you can play for about 200 hours if you so chose.
Yeah.
There's that much content in it, and that's not even including the DLC.
Which again, as you said, is free, which is something that not really done.
No, like usually it's like microtransactions were the future for a lot of game studios or publishers.
I hear a lot of issues where a lot of DLC is just unlock stuff that's already on the disc.
Yeah, you'll get guys that'll like rip the disc and then find out, yeah, it's on the disc already. We're being ripped off, guys.
Yeah. Seems a bit much, but like it's like it's probably just trying to stretch out the enjoyment of your thing, how it stays relevant while they're in the midst of making new ones or whatever. It is very commercial and
yeah, they're trying to monetize it further. I remember there's one game I played and like the epilogue was actually DLC, and I'm like, what? Like, to see the proper ending of this game, you have to buy this extra bit. And I bought the game. Why can't I actually get the end of it too?
Yeah. No, ideally, DLC should just be extras. Stuff that you don't really is really nice to have, but like doesn't make it doesn't ruin not having it doesn't ruin your enjoyment of the game itself.
Now there can be like expansions, which are like it's like almost like an extra chapter, but it's not actually related to the main game.
Yeah, no,
like it's like, and you might get a 6 hour playthrough of it, and that's worth paying an extra for.
But the epilogue seems that very. This is like it's an unfinished game.
Yeah, it's like we're just going to make the release date, and then we're going to actually make you even feel worse about it because we're going to charge you for the end of it too.
Christ. Anything to say on that, Chris? Or you're not really a gamer yourself? I know that. Is he there?
I don't know. Come back, Chris. No, he's gone.
Is he?
Yeah.
Christ.
It's you and me, Bob.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the Arrow and Flash stuff once we get him back, but let's see if we can get him back. My keyboard's doing this weird thing is that every time I type a C, it comes up with an X and a C. Not sure what's wrong with it. It's doing a few other characters like that as well.
I'm messaging him. We'll see.
Let me see. Maybe he's talked to me on Facebook. I usually turn that off because
Yeah.
makes an awful lot of noise.
Yes, it does. Keeps on switching the notification sounds back on the sly.
On Facebook room. Just
Awesome. Yeah, he's gone. Christopher left group chat. Christopher joined group chat. Didn't think talking about the games was that bad.
Yeah, you just got really bored of the game chat, I would imagine.
Yeah, we might as well blame me. It's okay.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Hey!
And that's why we love Christopher Galvin.
Yeah. Everybody loves Chris.
But Evan's still dead to.
Oh yeah. Maybe we resurrect him next week.
Yeah.
Through our voodoo priest.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. When did
I
you
don't know
come on
what the
there?
hell happened there.
We haven't got a clue. We were kind of talking there. Because I realized because we thought you wouldn't have much to add during games the talk. We
Yeah.
kind of we kind of were just about to start talking about the TV and then realized you were gone.
Yeah, but my whole laptop screen just went not responding, and I went, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, we're back now, so we might as well do the last bit of the spoilery Flaro talk. I
Indeed.
think we'll just skip Agents of Shield. We've done an awful lot of talking here, and there's no point in talking about until everybody's seen the end of it.
Yes. All right. So
Yeah.
it's just a flash and arrow.
Okay.
Which will we begin with first? Yeah.
Well, I'd say because Arrow finished first, we'll start with start with Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
and next on
Okay.
we
Okay.
Now, did they fail this show, or was it a good ending? What do you guys think?
um I think we should introduce it first better because we're gonna have to cut this in. So we'll move on to finally our TV and a lot of spoilers for the Flash and Arrow, the Flash and Arrow finales for this year. Good stuff, but a lot to discuss. First off, we'll start with the Arrow, and you were saying there, James.
Yeah, like, do you guys think that it failed itself, or do you think it kind of had a really good ending, a
I
satisfying kind of like season finale?
I think it mildly disappointed itself. Failed is a strong term. I
Yeah,
don't think I think we're just used to the high standards on this show. Uh, the thing is with a good show like this, let's say with stuff like if you liked it, Buffy and Angel back in the day, uh, when they had a slightly ropey season, you called it a failure, and still tons better than most things you got on TV at the time. So I think this is the case with Arrow. It's like we got an absolutely a really tight season last season, and because this had its a few weird little problems, and didn't end the way we thought it would be. We were kind of saying, oh well, that's this. We're being harsh on it. I think.
I yeah, I think like it had such a great mid-season finale,
Mm,
after the duel,
yeah,
Mm.
and like you go, oh my god, I can't wait for this show to come back
yeah.
because they went like mental.
I think it tried too many story arcs. There was too much going on.
Yeah, and it,
Like
they kind of repeat themselves with like the Arrow not being able to be the Arrow and everyone else stepping up.
yeah.
Mm.
I did that like once or twice,
Mm,
and like, but what it is great as a show is like it seems to be the springboard show for the other kind of like DC shows.
yeah,
Like you have like Adam now, you had like other characters being introduced to it.
yeah. And I think it's actually taking a few leaves out of Flash's book because it looks like in the next season they pretty much set for Oliver to come back as a lighter hero, not be
Yeah,
so not be so down like he's given up on it. Certainly something to bring him back, but he doesn't have to be as
dialing
core
back the
and
grim dark.
yeah, he doesn't have to be that lone warrior type anymore. Like yeah, that seems to be the sense. Like this will probably be the you go for Green Arrow instead, like to accentuate the color in his name, like
Yeah,
like rather than to be which they kind of done organically. Though it was funny in the first season where Malcolm Merlin suggested that as a name for the vigilante,
Yeah.
and he went, "Oh, that sounds sick."
I think it'll really work with the show if they're going to lighten up, because when Cisco and the other one from The Flash came in, like
Yeah,
the tone was like a lot of fun,
yeah.
but it still was identifiably an Arrow show.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they could do it. Yeah, it's just a matter of like it's always going to deal with crime, which is always going to bring in its dark side. But like they don't have to be like broody all the time. You
Yeah.
know, it's I think ever since they decided that Felicity to be a main character, there'd be this slight lightening of the load. Like there, it's and it's slightly gotten a bit more bit more lighter bit by bit, and now with the Flash in the role as well, like it's like you can have characters like Ray Palmer in there without it lining up the whole story altogether. Like,
Yeah.
well, what did you think of the ending there, Chris?
Um, it didn't feel like a season finale.
It felt a bit like a series finale in some ways.
Yeah, it feels like a wrap up, but I think it's more that they're going to do more of the end of a chapter type of thing. Like this is the
Yeah.
end of the vigilante, the horde. Like this is leaving all of the killing and all of all of the dark lone warrior stuff behind. If
Hmm.
they're coming back,
Yeah.
But
I felt that the build up of Ra's al Ghul was a lot more interesting than when he was actually on screen.
mm,
Um, I found him, for a man who's been around for quite some time, I found him slightly underwhelming as a villain slash mentor, and each episode kind of flowed away, in a way, into each other, but it didn't feel like there was a build up to anything really. I mean, it was going to come down to a fight between him and the Arrow, and this time he was going to beat him for whatever reason. I
mm,
think it slightly lost me when Oliver was killed, and I went, oh, how is this going to be resolved? And then he survived through sheer strength of will. Is that a medical term? You know,
well,
People can.
I
been
think it
dropped
was
off a cliff and stabbed. It stabbed through the chest.
fell off a mountain.
Like in all fairness, he's got abs, but how are these rock hard abs that can just take anything? And I never kind of weirdly got over that. I'm still
Yeah,
not sure why he's still alive. I can understand why Tia is alive. Lazarus Pit, bring her out with that
yeah.
that sort of thing there. That makes sense
Because
within the series, but
makes so much
his
more logical sense.
but it did though within that universe though. It weirdly did. Um,
But
but
apparently, I don't think it was a bit strange that he fell off a cliff and it's frozen temperatures and he didn't have a shirt on and if it was possible for Masao to get down that mountain like Barry could or something, maybe you could get him to tattoo and a katana in time, but
it I did like the series, and I still love the show.
yeah,
But when a series ends and you kind of go, oh, I can't wait for it to come back in the autumn. I can't wait to see where it goes next.
yeah,
But it did feel final, and it just felt, oh, grand.
yeah,
And that
kept
was
me
it. It
interested when to
didn't
go.
have that emotional pull that it usually does. Season 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Season 1 was okay. Season 1 was okay. Season 1 took its time getting there, but when it did, it was brilliant, and it got you
Yeah,
so involved, and you really cared about the characters. But this time round, they all they kept saying, "Oh, I don't want to hurt you. I was doing it to protect you." The amount of times that was used again and again, it just
yeah,
felt like, here now. But my favorite part of it was Tia's reaction to finding out that Ollie was the Arrow. Um, I thought it was great because I expected her to just go crazy at him, and instead she just turned around and said, so all this time you've been saving people's lives. I thought that was really well done. So there's little moments I really liked, um, and it felt like the way the Arrow characters were portrayed on the Flash was more interesting than the way they were portrayed in their own show.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the juxtaposition. Like, it's always going to be interesting to put like characters of Arrow who are fairly darker, like, and put them against these like fairly light characters. Like, go, why did they act this way? Like,
Yeah. Like when they had the Flash hour crossover when they went to Central City and Laurel was in it. I'd never seen Laurel smile before, and that's all she did through that episode. She's like, "Hi," smiling. It's like, who is this person? Who's this weirdly likable person? Where did he come from? You know?
Where's she been all these years?
Yeah. And she was so likable in it, and then she comes back and she's so grim again, and it's like, okay, I can understand that, but you gotta have a bit of light and dark in it, and there was too much dark. I found that there wasn't. I mean, Olicity, for example, I never got that. It's like going, okay, he's strong and he's broody and all this, and she might like that, but it just felt that relationship was something that was built on nothing. Oliver as a character was pretty much about the fight, about avenging his city, protecting it, and there was nothing else really to him. Even when he was caring about his family and stuff, that just felt like a really, really secondary concern to him. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Arrow in general. But it's still a good show, and it'd be interesting to see with the Legends of Tomorrow what that will bring, how that will bring out the lightness, because that looks like it.
Apparently that's going to be after before that starts, so they're going to have
They're going to have what?
The various characters. The Legends of Tomorrow before it airs.
When will it air?
Like next year, like they think probably maybe early next year or
early next year. So the Arrow and Flash will be back for a while.
Yeah,
because they're building up for it. Will probably happen quite a bit.
Apparently, that trailer was actually just purely shot to be a trailer. It's actually nothing from the show.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be a surprise.
That apparently
I thought it was a pilot, and they made a trailer out of the pilot.
No, apparently it's pure and simple a trailer.
Wow. It really feels like there's more to it.
It feels like there was actually a story there, but apparently, according to IGN, that was purely shot to be a teaser.
Well done.
Yeah,
Definitely.
What they're looking for, like in terms of tone and the humor and things like that. It bodes well that they seem to have a definite idea what they're at, and hopefully they'll plan a good season ahead of it.
Briefly before we move on to the Flash, there was some there was an Entertainment Weekly photo shoot with both the Flash and Supergirl, and Greg Berlanti in it as well.
I saw a picture like as if they're going to race each other.
Yeah. The old Superman versus Flash style.
Yeah. I liked that trailer. I liked the light and breezy. Some people it is aimed at a more youthful market, but
female even more so.
Yeah, but that could be again the way the trailer's cut. But I wouldn't actually not watch it. I would probably
I'd give it a go. I haven't caught up with it because I was watching so much this year, but I have watched the first 3 episodes or so of iZombie, and that's enjoyable.
Yeah, I really like iZombie.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like the comic book.
There's all the other stuff out of the way. But there was just so many things of a week I just got
Yeah.
It was lower down on my priorities, unfortunately, even though it's a good show. And we Flash, which I think definitely definitely made for a better season this year. Whichever, like again, Arrow was. We love Arrow, and it was by all means wasn't bad. Uh,
Mm.
but the Flash kicked it out of the park. Uh,
Mm.
as far and it was a hell of a class last few episodes, and leaving a lot open for the new season that's coming up in the autumn. What about you just to go through it? Basically, Barry had his chance to change time and save his mother, but decided not to, and stopped the Reverse Flash in the process, and nearly
Mm.
blew up the world.
Well,
That's how high concept you can go with the Flash.
yeah. No, he kind of did. He did kind of stop himself from saving his mother because the future Flash went like, "Don't do it."
Yeah, but I think he had his hesitations about it anyway. Just
Yeah, it
like
was a very touching
that's like
scene though. Like
yeah,
Grant
and
Austin like did a great job
yeah,
of having that kind of like dilemma within himself. Like he was really like, I do not know what to do. That
yeah,
conflict, and like and then again like Iris as well became a likable character.
Thank
yeah.
God.
Again, yeah, it seems to be the characters that we should be rooting for. We're going to go, God, when will this person leave?
To be honest, one thing I haven't said in anywhere Flash talks about this time, Harrison Ford all the way from his Mickey Fit chamber. The actor Tom Cavanagh in this show killed it.
He's been a
Harrison
phenomenon.
Ford.
Like
What?
usually he plays these like aloof kind of characters, and in this one he's like a villain, straight up villain.
No,
Mm.
most of these actually likable characters, like Ed in that show, Ed, and the brother of JD and Scrubs and stuff like that.
What
These
kind of
very
aloof
nice guy
though?
characters. What?
Like nice but aloof, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Breezy.
what you mean. Where he's like a thoughtful mentor as Harrison Wells, and as the Reverse Flash, he's kind of got this like full on, but really smart villain choices. Like it's not like it's not a serial villain, but he can be manic and verbose and overly dramatic without it being selling it to
Yeah,
me from seeing his stuff before. He
he's
killed it.
charismatic as a villain as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
And apparently, he's coming back as Harrison Wells because the fact that the reverse
It's timey wimey.
Harrison Wells wasn't killed.
It's timey wimey. You
Timey
can do
wimey.
what you want.
Back Harrison Wells as Harrison Wells.
Yeah.
The original Harrison Wells with
So
Tom.
he will actually be the good guy.
Oh, because he's okay.
It's like, oh my God.
I didn't actually think of that.
Like it's a great way to kind of like go, yeah, we want you back, and then he can
Yeah.
actually be.
It's
That
like
makes
when they
sense because he's like, it's a great, fantastic show, but there's something about him in it. He was so watchable and so
Magnetic.
that word. Thank you very much. But it was such a strong part of the show that it will be good going forward. But it'd be great to have him in it every so often because he does add something to it.
yeah.
Uh,
And you never know, as they were going to be dealing with alternate realities a lot in the next season, I'd say. You could have the reverse flashback as well.
And what about like the Cop Thawne character? Like he actually had a great end as well.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a big surprise. I wasn't expecting that turn.
No,
I
it wasn't.
That was one of the big surprises at the end for me. Like, it's like
He does a looper.
sense, but still, I was like, what?
I think when Victor Garber's character was talking to Eddie and said you're a coincidence, you're the I suppose the part that hasn't been accounted for, and I just went, he's going to shoot himself, he's going to kill himself.
I wasn't getting that at all.
I
I
wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, there you go, and it just came into my head for some reason, and then I'd forgotten about it, and then it happens, and I go, oh crap. Because he is a likable character. He's the other love interest, but he's really likable, and you kind of root for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's supposed to be the love rival, but he's a decent bloke. So why would you actually begrudge him? If he was a bit of a a doofus or a twat, you're gonna go, yeah, suck
Yeah.
it. But you don't. You're gonna go, yeah, like, why shouldn't he actually have a bit of happiness or get the girl? He's
Yeah,
not doing
and
anything wrong.
like if there was some reason for Barry not to like him, like then we'd be behind it. But like Barry obviously goes like, well, I'm in love with Iris, but it has to be her choice, and I really like Eddie, so I can't hate him for it. So
Yeah.
I won't, you know.
I
Uh,
did like Garber's character, like when like Thawne's going, but I was told like I don't amount to anything, and he says like I have a mug like that says like world's best teacher. I don't think there's any like veracity to what that
yeah.
says.
Oh, I liked him that he made lots of good speeches about what was happening, and there's like
Excelsior,
Excelsior,
Excelsior.
yeah, or Eureka or Excelsior or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to be the comic relief with the deadpan kind of dialogue,
I'd say
and
so.
he's a good actor as well.
Um, yeah, so it was a great ending, and of course the everybody's going to be talking about the Jay Garrick tease.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
But before mentioning that, Stephen, what about the Cisco?
yeah, the
Oh
whole
yeah,
kid thing. We knew that was going to come in somewhere. We also saw a flash of Killer Frost when Barry was running through
the
time.
Speed Force.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Speed Force.
Yeah,
So that's a possible flash of either Caitlin becoming Killer Frost or a version of her coming from the older dimensions. That's Killer Frost.
yeah.
Because I don't think they'd waste her character by making her become a villain.
No,
No.
they could show like an alternate version of her being. Do you remember
Yeah,
like Buffy when like Willow became like a badass vampire?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like awesome. You kind of went, "Holy crap, that's brilliant."
yeah. It's so much they brought her into the main reality to have one more story for her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then to give her like the best send off ever as well
yeah,
in that one. You're gonna go genius.
yeah. But no, there's lots of stuff that Belante's been saying about bringing an awful lot more speeders coming in, and so
Wally West,
of
things like that.
Welly West, they definitely teased Jay Garrick. Of course, he's obviously going to be an alternate reality because there's been no story about there being a previous Flash before Barry.
Mm.
Uh, so another reality, an Earth 2, if you will. Uh, Jay Garrick coming through. You saw the helmet. He's probably looking for his helmet. Uh,
Yeah, that was
but
a great little nod, and even like the Reverse Flash's comment, like that's time for me to go.
I wonder if he knew Jay Garrick somehow. To
I have a feeling so. I have a feeling the
is
reverse
it just
flash has
that
been around.
everything's going wonky? I better go before it completely goes wonky. You know?
Mm.
I don't know. I think he recognized it.
Yeah,
That's my take on it. He recognized the helmet.
yeah. No, I'd like to think so. That'd be an interesting take on it.
Mm.
Um, and then it ends with him trying to close the singularity, which I think they'll probably do off camera. I think that'll all be off on camera, but it will be the catalyst that will bring a lot more characters from other dimensions into the story. Maybe
Mm.
spread some more energy that creates more villains within the proper reality.
Mm.
I'd say that's how it'll work. And maybe Cisco can sense them because they're on a different vibrational wavelength
Mm.
than they're from other
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that might be a way to use his burgeoning powers. You know? Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. Yeah, the very, very, like yeah, that's a great way to end it. Yeah, and I think the way they did the open end is like we us as an audience can trust Barry trust Barry to win out on the day even against the odds. So it's like saying
Mm.
he'll do it. We know he'll do it, but there'll be consequences of this big event going on, even if we won't see it straight
Yeah,
away. You know.
yeah.
So that's what I think they were doing with the ending. Just like everybody believed he could go past Mach 2 and create that wormhole, and he did through will and perseverance. Uh, anything last to say on that, James?
No, I'm quite happy with the way it ended. It was very open ended, but it kind of left you wanting, going, how are they going to get like to the reset button, or will there even be a reset button?
Mm.
I doubt. I'd say there'd be consequences of what they did. Uh, there definitely be. That's probably their way of creating new characters that they could bring in.
Mm.
Because
You
because
have to admire their ambition,
yeah,
because that finale was kind of like, brimming with kind of action, like, visually they're pushing the envelope of their like TV budget to the max.
yeah.
Mm.
No, it was very good for TV. Like the buildings coming off and the 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 energy effect was believable enough.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen better movies, but it definitely wasn't hokey looking.
Yeah,
Mm.
like you can see there it was constrained, and they probably not might have needed like a few nice little extra render passes, but you can go, I don't care, because you're just like liking the characters, you know what they're trying to do. You kind of
Yeah,
give it a bit more kind of leeway because it is a TV show.
you're invested in
Yeah.
the world, so you're not gonna pick on the graphics that much, and they were still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Anything to leave on that, Chris?
No, I thought it was a great end to a fantastic series, and it kind of hit everything for me, and it you know what when I went, it felt like it was just brimming over with ideas, and everybody had little moments, and it was very emotional at times, and when Barry went back and watched his mother die in front of him, it was so harrowing and heartbreaking. It was pure brilliant drama,
Yeah,
and you just feel like this is a great hero. Like this is somebody in their own series where the main character is actually interesting. Because in a lot of series, you like to turn characters, but in that moment, you found out. For me, it was like this is what a really interesting hero is. He has to make tough decisions, tough
yeah.
choices, and it was so good. And I really enjoyed it, and I can't praise it enough. It's just fantastic.
Mm. I can't say anything more than we've said there. So if
Mhm.
everybody's fine, I think we'll wrap it up there for the week.
All right.
Uh, anything to look forward to next week that anybody's thinking of in the coming week?
No, my life is one big empty dark room.
Is Mickey Chamber?
No, no, not that level yet.
Oh,
But
okay. Uh, Chris,
Mickey Fit Chamber beckons.
you're building one at the moment. You've got like planning permission.
Mine looks suspiciously like that teleportation chamber out of The Fly.
Ah, right. It's just yeah, there's a big glowing green light from your behind.
Not yet, but who knows? When you enter that chamber, you do not come out the same person.
Mm. Okay, be afraid. Be very afraid. Uh, Chris, nothing planned for this week. Things to enjoy. I think we've run out of shows, so we're gonna have to like look at movies and stuff. At least the summer season's coming in.
Well, I've got the last few episodes of Shield to catch up on. I've the last episode of Gotham to catch up on. I've got an episode of Penny Dreadful still to watch, and Game of Thrones. Um, there's a few things still to watch, and I'm assuming there'll be a few things that will be released during the summer that will keep us tied over for now. But that's my plans anyway. I'm on holidays after 6:30 tomorrow. I'm off for 9 days, so I'll be away for a while. But I plan to watch TV and read and catch as many movies I want to see. So I've things to look forward to.
Okay, we're adults. By the way, just sitting there watching TV. I want to watch me stories. No,
Yeah,
no, I'm doing it as well. Same here. But yeah, other than watching Mad Max, probably catch up on iZombie, read a lot more comics, uh, and see everybody next week for this podcast. So for me, Stephen, we'll have. Unfortunately, we won't have Chris next week, but goodbye for now, Chris. Have
Goodbye.
fun.
enjoy your holidays.
Uh,
I will.
Enjoy your holidays, man. Next week we'll have Evan back, and we'll be able to no doubt talk Mad Max and a little bit of Flash and Arrow with him, just to see what his opinion was. And also, as ever, we have had James. See you later, there, James.
You take care. See you next week.
Okay, see you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.